Um, Hello, chat. Here we go. Attempt number 2. Alrighty. Hello and welcome to the stream, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Tonight we got something a little bit different. We are jumping long overdue. We are jumping into Solasta Crown of the Magister very briefly for a sponsored event to take a look at their newest DLC, which frankly, if I wasn't swamped with other games, I would probably already be playing myself. But they have added 2 DLCs, actually, I think, since the last time we played. Oh, Steam is still in the middle of updating the game. Well, chat, I guess you're stuck sitting here listening to me ramble on for a few minutes because the game's still updating. So, Solasta has added a user campaigns collection, like people who made their own campaigns to run through, and the developers have taken the best of the bunch and kind of put them into like a little compilation you can download for free, which is nice. And then there's also the Inner Strength DLC, which is $8, and that includes the Warlock, Bard, and Monk classes from D&D have been added to the game as playable classes. So tonight we're going to check out both at the same time by playing one of the new classes, and we'll look at some of the user-made campaigns, which I think will be pretty fun, if the game ever actually downloads. That's weird. Steam is being kind of weird. It's refusing to update the game. Aw, crap, we gotta listen to the streamer, man. Hate that. Yeah, what's up, Surgeon? Any plans to play the Gladiator game again? I don't know, man. The physics-based combat system of We Who Are About to Die just didn't really necessarily grab my attention. Don't know anything about this game. Well, you'll see here in a second. If okay, that's weird. Is it working now? Uh-oh. We might have to come back to this in a minute. Steam refuses to download the game. No downloads in queue. What do you mean no downloads in queue? Ah, heck. Come on. The heck, man. I'm gonna try canceling the download, deleting everything that's on the hard drive already, and then re-download. There we go. All right, well, this might take a few minutes then. Will there be more class DLCs, or is this the last one? If I'm not mistaken, this is the last of the actual D&D classes. So if they do any more DLCs, it'll have to be for stuff that they make up, which I think is kind of unlikely. Because up till now, they've been pulling material from the books. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, I'm starting. It's wanting me to re-download the entire game, not just the DLC. So we might be sitting here chatting for a minute. Here we go, chat. Here's the new plan. We're gonna put on the full game soundtrack. What is the game? So Solasta Crown of the Magister is basically Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition converted to PC format. Specifically, it's a campaign called Crown of the Magister where you play through it. You build your characters and you play through it like a D&D campaign. They also have added a couple of other campaigns. There's Crown of the Magister, then there's the Lost Valley, expansion, and then now they've added user-made things. There was a workshop built into the game that would allow you to piece together your own dungeons to explore, and add switches and levers that open doors and add dialogue and such, but to actually build a campaign out of it would be a lot of work. But you know there's going to be those people out there who are motivated enough to do it. So I guess the whole point of this DLC is to celebrate the folks who have actually gone and does it say, has Fjorgrim's name been stuck on the screen for like the past 5 minutes? What is going on tonight? Stop that. Uh-oh.
I'm your huckleberry.
Uh-oh. I think our sub announcement system is broken, so I'm just gonna turn it off for a minute. And we'll check in later. Usually it's an online service, so sometimes it goes down for a bit. Veltis, thank you for the 45 months. Seraph, thank you for the 37 months. Ozakai, thank you for the 53. Nightshaft, thanks for the 25. Fjorgrim, thank you for the 1,000 bits continuously for the past 5 minutes. Sir Fishbucket, thank you for the 52 months. And DeWord 2011, thank you for the 94 months. Appreciate that tier 2 resub. Welcome back. Everything going well? Yeah, sort of. I'm having to re-download the game, which hopefully won't take too long. Oh, so in addition, chat, I did some testing on Tactics Ogre after stream yesterday because I had a thought. I was wondering how the stat increases in that game work when you level up, right? So guess what I did? I tried recruiting a new character at level 1 as a warrior, and then I fought like one training battle and it instantly leveled him all the way up to the level cap because all the other characters were already leveled. So all of the leftover XP that would have gone to them instead all got funneled into the new guy, right? So he got like 12 people's worth of XP all in one fight. So it instantly jumped him from level 1 to level 20 something. And I trained him from level 1 to level 22 as a warrior. Like he gained 22 levels of warrior in one fight. And the reason this is significant is because I realized that sometimes if you jump between classes too much, like say you train as a mage and then you train as an archer, then you train as a warrior, your stats are all over the place. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute, who do we know that did exactly that and has been struggling a little bit lately? Why, of course, it's our friendly neighborhood terror knight, Dreadhawk. And I was like, wait a minute, that's right. Dreadhawk was an archer, and then I made him something else, and then I made him something else, and then I made him a terror knight. No wonder his stats are kind of just weird. So I hired the new warrior, and I named him Dreadhawk. And then I took him into one training battle, so he got 22 levels of warrior all at once. Then I fired the old Dreadhawk, and I slid this new one in there. And basically just replaced him with a clone with much better stats. So now he's a lot stronger than he was. Came out with a lot more strength and like 100 extra HP. No one tell Dreadhawk though. Shh. He's in here now. Shh. We weren't talking about you. Nothing happened. Dreadhawk 2.0. Granted, it means the weapon proficiencies will need to be grinded out again, but, you know, I'm willing to sacrifice that if it means his base strength and vitality are much higher. Now I gotta do the same thing with a couple of our bird bros. Pretty sure Raven, when we first hired him, pretty sure he was an archer. Which means we can do better. Oh, Chad, you know what else I realized? I realized that the, you know what? While we're waiting for... I'm just gonna fire up, Tactics Ogre while we're waiting for Celesta to download, because I'm getting bored sitting here on the screen. Uh-oh. What is going on? Schedule for today? Well, we're kicking things off tonight with a sponsored stream for Solasta. However, Steam is being goofy and not letting me download the game, so I'm gonna mess around on Tactics Ogre while we're waiting. Tactics Yogurt.
Tactics Ogre.
Here we go, chat. We'll do this while we're waiting since I'm talking about this game. Yeah. So, out with the old and in with the new. Notice that Dreadhawk now has almost 900 health points compared to the 799 that he had before. Got his vitality up to 114. He's looking thick. He's looking thick now. I almost wonder if I wonder if a knight character's stat growth would be better. Who's the other one I need to mess with? Raven, Theo. Oh, chat, at some point I picked these up and I didn't even notice. I picked up 3 charms that will allow me to turn a Birdman into a Vartan, which is the same class as Canopus. So I'm kind of tempted to try and find a new Birdman to recruit. Actually, there's no way that I would ever find a level 1 Hawkman, is there? Now that I think about it. I was thinking their stats would be better if I raised them from level 1 as a Vartan, but I'm never going to find a level 1 because we only encounter these guys in the wild. I can't just walk into a town and recruit one, right? No, you can't turn a normal human into a winged man. Oh, a lot of them say AI over their name because I was doing the training missions, but I was bored, so I just let the AI play out the fights for me. I'll disable it as soon as we start doing story quests again. You know what? For science, what is Dreadhawk is neutral and he is air elemental. Hold on. Chop.
Good day.
Fire.
What do you say?
What do you say? Oh, I didn't change the name, did I? Oops.
What do you say?
Here we go, chat. For further sciencing.
What do you say? Bang.
Look at all these mini-me's. We're gonna figure out how to perfect this
that's
system.
come again.
Hello, little mini-me. What if I use a class mark immediately and turn this guy into a knight? So it looks like warriors are a balance between strength and vitality, but a berserker is really high strength and lower vitality. And then a knight is slightly lower strength but much higher vitality and durability. Let's try making a knight. Boom. Knight with a crossbow. Put in the new mini-me. A warrior around that level will be 130 strength, 140 vitality. None of the warriors in my group have those stats, so I don't think that's an accurate prediction. Even the people who've been warriors since level 1, like Denim, don't have stats that high. Oh, here we go. So chat, are you ready for this? We're gonna let the AI play this fight out for me. Now, level 1 Dreadhawk here is probably gonna get one-shotted. But that's okay. Because as long as we win the battle, they still get all the XP. There you go. Alright, chat. You supervise this battle. Control your characters. I'm gonna go get some water. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Chat, did you guys win yet? Did little level 1 mini-me Dreadhawk survive? Or is he dead already? I'm sorry, did that say Thunder Wave? Sarah used an attack called Thunder Wave? What even is that? Am I tripping or is the title off? The title is off. Sort of. We're trying to play Celesta, but the Steam was being confused. I wanted it to download the update for Celesta, but instead it's making me re-download the entire game. So we're sitting here for like 10 more minutes until the download finishes. No, actually, we did a full playthrough of Divinity Original Sin 2. I believe it's all saved in our highlights. right, good job, team. Let's see. How'd you do? Are you ready for all the XP to go to one person? I'm gonna put him up here so I can compare a homegrown level 1 character to his stats are better than Voltaire. Oh, well, Voltaire's only level 19. But he looks to be on par with Voltaire at the very least. What about compared to other Dreadhawk? Higher vitality, slightly lower strength, higher dexterity, higher avoidance, intelligence, mind, resistance. Now, what if I were to change his class? His int and strength would go up a little bit, his vitality would go down. They would end up almost exactly the same stats. Yeah, there's some equipment stats being factored in, but still, they're very similar. Well, there is one last way to do this experiment, chat, which is to see what if we train somebody as a Terror Knight from level 1. And if you're wondering what the heck I'm doing right now, we're just doing some science and min-maxing the stats in this game while we are in fact waiting for Celesta to finish patching and downloading off Steam. So don't mind me as I meme.
You sure?
Don't mind me memeing. My inner perfectionist is trying to figure out
What do you say? Right then.
the best way to juice out some stats. Okay, so now we're going to try a different strategy here. We're just going to turn him into a Dread Knight immediately. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Heard you were talking about Divinity 2. Loved it. What did you think? I thought it was a really solid game. Probably wasn't like my favorite RPG ever, but it was pretty good. I wasn't so thrilled about the ending of it. Anything else I didn't like? What's her face? The tutorial chick who's like all powerful was really annoying. this mission. Dude, we actually face rolled this mission so hard. I brought like almost an entire flying army. We brought 2 of our chickens. We brought our winged man Beastmaster. So him and his 2 pets flew up onto the roof. And then I had like 4 Vartons. So basically most of our army was flying, and we just flew up to the roof of the castle and took the roof and then just murdered everybody from there. Super easy. Okay, nice. Solasta's 90% downloaded, so when this fight is done, we'll swap over and do it. Sorry, chat. In the background, I'm doing Solasta things. 1 second. Okay, all right. All right, chat. I've been sorting stuff out in the background as we have our sponsored Solasta stream to do after this. I did see a couple of questions. Is the game difficult? I'd say this game is like a cakewalk, 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 and then you suddenly run into an unkillable, unbeatable boss. And then it goes back to being a cakewalk. So the difficulty is rather unpredictable. It's mostly very easy, but then it like sometimes randomly has like a wild difficulty swing where a mission is like much more difficult than the ones prior to it. The level cap is up to 22, yeah. I mean, the level cap wasn't even stuck that long. The only reason it felt like we were stuck at level 19 for so long was because I chose to go through that giant hunting ground dungeon minigame thing, side quest. And I went through that when we were already at the level cap, so it was just like a whole lot of missions in a row where we didn't actually gain anything from it. Yeah, if you played the PSP version of this game and you're used to archers being OP and you decide to bring a bunch of archers, you will find the game very difficult now. Because the archers suck now. The hunting ground was like 10 maps in a row. And some of them were actually really difficult. Like, I'd say the most difficult missions of the game so far, 100% were in the hunting ground side quest. Your archers deal 1,000 without crit. On this version of the game, or like the old PSP? And also, if you're describing like some level 50 endgame character, that doesn't matter or apply to where I'm at in the story. That's a lot of XP. Okay, let's take a look-see. Ultimately, it looks like it doesn't change much. This version of him has slightly higher vitality. This version has slightly higher intelligence. This version has the highest vitality, but the lowest strength. Which is mostly because he's a knight. If I changed his class, it would be down to almost exactly the same. Yeah, so I don't know. The only one that really seemed to suffer was the original Dreadhawk, because he spent 10 levels as an archer. All the rest of them are roughly the same. All right, there can be only one, chat. I can't have an entire army of Dreadhawks. I gotta get rid of the imposters. this is a joke, I'm not laughing. It's not, you're a clone, get out. Quit booing me, game! A level 40 archer with bonus versus lizards hits lizard casters for 1,000. Right. That, you see why I'm unimpressed? It's like, you had to make a guy with a specific bonus against a specific enemy type, and then you had to attack that enemy type when they have no armor on to get 1,000 damage. That does not sound good. That's like, I don't know. That's like getting your college degree in underwater basket weaving. How often are you going to be underwater weaving baskets, you know? I would rather have classes that are useful all the time rather than a class that is only good at attacking one type of enemy when they have no armor on. After all we've been through. I hired you today! You fought one training battle. Quit guilt tripping me. Get out. You too, Godfrey. I don't even know how you got hired. After all we've been through, you haven't even fought one battle! Get out! Alright, well, that was some interesting sciencing, for sure. It seems like all of the, like, physically tough classes, like Knights and Warriors, ultimately, most of their stats end up being pretty similar. Hold on, let me make sure the girls are ready. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum.